Hey folks, it's Modz with another Lost Ark guide. Today we're going to be going over Tier 3 gearing. You made it through Tier 1 and 2, and now the real endgame begins. A lot of the system that you're previously using will be doing the same exact thing, but there's a couple new additions. Okay, so let's go over how you progress through Tier 3. Once you hit 1,100 item level, you'll get a quest, right? Or you'll have the quest. I don't have it right now because we're already over that. Anyways, you'll get your quest. It'll tell you, hey, it's time to go to a new island. It's called Punica, or some people call it Punica. It's located right down here. So basically, to sail to this island, follow your purple quest, and then finish the purple quest. I would definitely highly recommend doing like all the side quests in this area too. It would help out your progress quite a bit. Now, once you finish this island, you have to get your gear. How do you get your basic set in Tier 3? Unlike Tier 2, you can't purchase stuff from the auction house. So you're going to have to use your daily resets, and you're going to have to come to your little Chaos Dungeon. If you don't know how to find the Chaos Dungeon entrance, you just type Chaos Dungeon in the map, and it'll like blink. So anyways, you just go and do your basic starter Chaos Dungeon. It's at 1,100 item level, and you're going to try to get your entire set. It is possible if you have bad RNG, you might not get the full set, and that just sucks. Is there anything you do about it? There isn't. You kind of just have to wait until the next day and do it again to get your next set. Okay? But now you got your basic set. It's equipped. What else is there to do in Tier 3? Well, basically everything that you were doing before is in Tier 3. You still have your Chaos Dungeons, you have your daily Guardian raids, you have your Abyss dungeons that unlock, right? Based on your item level, that'll give you more resources. Right? Or as well, 1325 item level. When you're doing the Chaos Dungeon daily, you'll end up getting tickets for your cube and also for Boss Rush. That gets you a bunch of materials. And then you'll also still be able to do all the exchange vendors. Well, what I should say, right, when you run your Chaos Dungeon after you do your 2 daily things, in Tier 3, the limit for doing your transfer of the Shard of Purification for materials is a lot higher. So you could basically almost infinitely run Chaos Dungeons to get more upgrade materials, right? So you'll have your Honor Leap Stones, you'll have your Shard Pouches, you'll have your materials that increase your upgrade chance at your Honing Vendor, and then you have your 1302 Destruction Stone Crystals and Shards. You have this little powder stuff. This helps with gear transfer. We'll go to that in a second. And yeah, so you could just do like your Chaos Dungeon exchange because you can just infinitely run these Chaos Dungeons. So anyways, let's get into the new systems. So you'll notice in Tier 3, when you get your item drops, there will be something that says Skill Tree Effects. This is the newly introduced in Tier 3, and we'll go over here to like really showcase this. Basically what this is going to do, it's going to give your bonuses to your tripods. And it looks a little intimidating, but trust me, it is. It definitely is intimidating, but it's pretty easy to deal with because the game gives you a bunch of resources. So how does this work? You kind of will get drops that have skill tree effects. How do you know what skill tree effects are good for you, right? Because it basically goes off your skill tripods. The game has this cool little system in the game and the settings thing, right? This is basically my spin cutter. These are my runes that I'm using. If I want to track certain tripods on gear, all you do is select it. So now if I get quick preparation on a piece of gear, quick preparation will be marked and it's like, oh, that's a usable tripod passive for my gear, right? And you could do that for your entire skill tree. Let's say there's like a different build that you might want to do that has different passives for their tripods. You could like track those too. You could literally track everything. What skills are you going to track for your build? It all depends on what character you're playing. So basically just look at the build guide or build that you're using, and that will kind of like tell you which one of these that you will select. And this will be, there's like that visual indicator that those skills are on the new piece of the gear that drops. So make sure to set this up. This is like the first thing you're going to do in Tier 3. Go to the settings and set up what skills you want to track on your tripod for your drops. Because if you don't do that, You know, this one's like, you know, this one doesn't have anything I need, but you're gonna have to like just scour through each piece of gear, and it takes forever. So highly recommend to use the in-game tracking system, okay? So I don't wanna make any changes. Now, once you do the in-game tracking system, there's this vendor over here, right? It's in the crafting district, right? It's called Transfer Skill Tree. These are my pieces of gear, right? So each piece of gear can have like 3 little like passive tripods on it. And all you basically do, if you want to put a new one on there, right? There's like now you just select like what slot you want to replace. So I have something empty there. So I like this Void Strike, right? That seems good. It only has a 30% transfer rate. If you get this Powder of Sage, I don't have one right now, it'll increase it by like 30 more percent. So you basically have a chance to transfer these skill tripods onto your piece of gear, and pretty much you're trying to build the perfect tripod, right? So you want every single passive to be beneficial. And we're just gonna do it. We might fail, we might succeed. We failed. Okay, that's really sad. Okay, we're gonna attempt it again with Blitz Rush with this one. This one had the 100% transfer rate. Pog, okay, this one's good. Okay, let's transfer this one. Yeah, okay, so we got it transferred. So hypothetically, this one's not perfect, but it's like pretty good. Like Fatal Wave is not giving me a bonus. So what you're gonna try to do now is on each piece of gear, you're gonna try to construct the perfect tripod bonuses that are beneficial to your character, right? Once you do that, what you can do is go to this little inventory thing. And notice I have these shoulder pads. You can save it to the inventory. And then whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't have to do this little fail thing, right? You just automatically transfer your perfectly built gear tripods into a new piece of gear. So there is like a little bit of a building process for this new endgame system, but once you get it built, it's really easy to transfer to whatever piece of gear you want. And you could have like multiple setups, right? You could just keep on saving multiple sets. So most people, right, we just hit tier 3, so we haven't really built up too much yet. You'll have like multiple saved skill tripods. So that's one of the new systems. Also for tier 3, right, in tier 3 you have these gems. Wow. Guess what you're gonna have to do? You are going to have to replace all your tier 2 gems with tier 3 gems. That's why I said, you know, in tier 2 not to focus on gems too much, because your tier 2 gems will basically be 50% as effective. So make sure you replace all your tier 2 gems with tier 3 gems, and they drop from the same place. They drop from Chaos Dungeon, they drop from Boss Rush. When you want to upgrade them, you just put them in this little fusion thing and it'll upgrade them. And then what skills do you want on your gems? You kind of just use gems that are beneficial for your character. So whatever your like hardest hitting abilities are, or things that you want cooldowns on, every build is different. So yeah, to basically go off a guide for that. So that's kind of like what you're gonna have to do for your gems. And then also that's the new skill tripod system. Now, like for upgrading your gear, it's basically the same exact thing. It's like what I think up to +7, it's a 100% chance to upgrade, which is 1325 item level. So a lot of people upgrade their gear up to 1325 item level. And then you actually have the option. So like all these BOE materials that you get, right? Some are BOE and some are tradable. A lot of people right now are trading their tradable materials because they're at such high value, so you can accrue more gold. And then you could like basically get materials later on. So that's a choice you're gonna have to make. Do you want to continue progressing your character, or do you want to make more gold? But like once you pretty much get past 1325, the chance to upgrade your gear goes down quite a bit. So make sure you're using these solar graces, these solar blessings, these solar protections. And I have like some of them or whatever, right? So you can increase your chance to upgrade a little bit by that. You'll get these by doing like different bosses and stuff like that in game. There's also like your exchange vendors and also archaeology. So make sure you start doing archaeology. You want me to hit it? Okay, we'll upgrade it. Let's see if we get a good upgrade. Are we lucky today or are we not lucky? Oh, wow. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so that's kind of like what you could do like with your resources. Now, just like tier 1 and 2, that was kind of wild. That's a low % chance to upgrade. Now with tier 1 and 2, like when tier 1 and 2, you have your same exchange vendors. We already went over the Chaos Dungeon shards. You can also do the Bloodstone exchange, so we'll just go over there. This is why you want to be in a guild. It's like fairly important. So we'll just like walk up to it. And it'll have like weekly items that you could buy. And if you ever want to find it in any city, you just type your Bloodstone, right? So if you're not in Vern, you just type Bloodstone in there. Right, and you just go to your honing materials and you go over here. And then since you're in tier 3, you'll buy the tier 3 materials for your upgrades, right? So you got all your different stones and stuff that you could buy. Oh, look, I got more 1302 stones. I'll buy that because I have more guild points today. So we get some more upgrade mats, right? And then you got these stones, then you got your leap stones that you could buy. Then you also have entrance tickets. A lot of people don't know about this, but in addition to like Chaos Dungeon dropping these boss entrances, you could buy them from the guild exchange. So you'll have a chance of either getting silver, boss rush ticket, or cube ticket. Cube is really good for all the items that give you a chance to upgrade your gear. Like, it gives you increased probability of upgrading your gear. And then boss rush gives you a lot of your leap stones and also gives you a lot of gems. So if you get these, make sure you're happy. And then in terms of your weeklies, you have your Una tasks too. So just do your Una tasks that are giving you leap stones. That's what I would recommend. If you end up getting a boss rush ticket, make sure you grab the weekly for boss rush before you actually complete it, because it gives you a bunch of honor leap stones. But anything that gives you like leap stones, because these will be like one of your major restrictions, it's good. Okay. And then you also have the vendor like right outside of town. The boat exchange, same exact thing. I'll show you guys where it's at, but it's same vendor for tier 1 and 2. So let me just go to my ocean real quick. We'll just repair a ship, and then we'll set sail. And then you just have your exchange right here for your tier 3 mats. I already bought them all. These you just get pirate coins. You could get pirate coins by doing islands, or if there's any like co-op sailing events. And then if you do co-op sailing, right, the sailing co-op, it'll give you pirate coins. And then also once they pop up the harmony gates, you get like these little like keys to do the harmony gates also. So that's basically the exchange vendors that you got to look out for tier 3 gearing. Now, if you notice in tier 1 and 2, there's like a bunch of island catch-up mechanics that give you a bunch of resources. Guess what? You don't have to worry about those. There's only one island that you have to worry about. This island is called Anguish Island. You want to do this every day. We're just going to use a little Bifrost, and we're going to teleport to it really quickly. Here we go. The loading screen. They actually put these little tips in the loading screens recently, so make sure you read them. They're actually good. So anyways, here is Anguish Island. You can start doing this before 1100 item levels, but there is this quest that pops up every day. It's a daily quest. It'll give you this key, right? So you end up doing the daily quests. You just like kill some monsters around this area, and then once you get the key, you'll be able to enter this dungeon. And we're just gonna walk over there real quick. But basically, this dungeon is God tier. And you want to start doing Anguish Island as soon as you can to just get the keys. Even if you can't enter the dungeon, that's fine, because you could store up as many keys as you want. And you can actually enter the dungeon as many times a day as you want, as long as you have the keys. But basically, do Anguish Island to get the keys and save them up for when you get to tier 3. Why do you want to do this dungeon every day? The reason why is there's this Crimson exchange vendor. You could get this Overwhelm legendary rune. It had a bunch of tier 3 gems, right? Because you have to upgrade all your T2 gems. I already bought them. It has T2 gem chests. It has common engraving stuff, right? And these are pretty rare and hard to get. They have epic engravings, and there's also legendary engravings. And these are really expensive. You look on the auction house, some of the engravings, they're 15, 20,000 gold. And you can get these for free just by doing this island. There's also leap stones you can exchange here. And there's also this hollow fruit that you could get also, right? Like a little rapport item. So this is pretty much the only item that you really have to worry about doing, because there's no like resource islands. And then like the final thing that you should really worry about in tier 3 is you want to make sure you're doing your Procyon's compass. So make sure you're doing your daily chaos gate and make sure you're doing your field bosses. The field bosses, so let's say for like Wild Water Island, this is 1385 item level. I did it today. Am I 1385 item level? I'm not. I'm 1343 island. This island is super small, and the respawn point is like right at the boss, so people just zerg it. It'll give you like legendary bleed rune, island hearts, more materials. So if this is up, try to just go to this island. So if you're like 1300 item level, the boss timer is fairly forgiving, and people will just zerg it down, and that'll give you more materials. And then with your chaos gate, make sure you do your daily chaos gate when it's up, because you'll get those maps. There's blue, epic, and legendary maps. You do the group rota, have another video on that. And when you do the group rota, you'll get a bunch of BOE stuff. You can either use those materials for yourself, or you can sell them. I have them in my bag, right? They're going for like a decent amount still of gold. But yeah, really, that's pretty much it for tier 3. And like I said, the biggest thing you have to make a decision on in tier 3 is once you get to 1325 item level and your chance to upgrade your gear goes down, you have to decide if you want to keep them boosting your character's item level or sell your BOE materials to just stockpile a bunch of gold. And then you could kind of just like repurchase stuff once the price goes down. But that's pretty much it for tier 3 gearing. Hopefully that answered all your questions. If you have any more questions, post something in the comment section. And I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.